We're starting off high.
We can get
I
a
think
two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
We're
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise wolves.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. I heard there's people looking for him.
I hope not.
I don't know.
But I don't know who that
That's
guy
what I heard.
is.
That's hearsay. How's your week been, man?
It's been all right for the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't think of anything that stood out to it.
Well, that's good.
You know, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless something stands out in a good way, then then that's a bad thing that I missed out on that good thing. But it's all good here.
That's good. That's good.
You know.
Today was
How was yours?
Today was a rough one. The rest of the week was okay, but it'll be fine.
Well,
I just need to get through it. I need to get to a point where I can take some real fucking time off.
right.
So it'll be all right. You got any inadvertents to get us going?
I do have an inadvert.
Oh, I love it.
I do have an inadvert, right? And this came from I need to start. See, on the shorts, on the YouTube shorts, they don't really always show you the
Like
name
the source
of the podcast.
video.
Because I would like to shout them out. But they were just going down the top 10 deadliest animals list, right?
Okay.
And I noticed something.
My son made a comment tonight. I wonder if he saw this same video in school or something, because he was like, the number one deadliest animal isn't what you think. And I'm like, oh, okay. And we kind of rattled a couple off, and then he said what it was. So I'm curious as to what this video said. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, well, what did they say? What did they say number one was?
I said the number one's a mosquito.
Yeah.
So it might have been the same video. Or maybe that's just the
it has
truth.
been for a while.
Right. Malaria and all the other shit, like West Nile and...
Yeah, they said mosquitoes kill 725,000 people per year.
Damn.
They say, and I guess I'll go through the list backwards. But they say humans at 2 with 400,000. Snakes at 3 with 138,000. Dogs at 4 with 59,000. Assassin bug at 5 with 10,000.
The fuck is an assassin bug?
That's what I said. And they knew something when they named that bug. That's all I'm going to say. And then scorpion at 6 with 3,300.
That's a big drop.
Right. And then crocodile at 7 at 1,000. Elephant at 8 with 6,000.
It's just because people don't know how to get out of the way.
At 9. Or wait. Elephant at 8 with 600. Did I say 6,000?
You said 6,000. I figured you meant
yeah,
600.
600. and then hippo at 9 with 500, and then lion at 10 with 200. And I thought to myself,
why are we getting in hippo and elephant's ways?
nah, you know what I mean? I definitely understand that. You never know where you at in them, foreign countries, especially in Africa. You never know. You might get run up on by a
That's
hippo,
true.
just not paying attention out the
I've
water
seen
on you.
I've seen Jumanji. I've seen what happens.
But I'm wondering, like, don't get me wrong, like, no, why are the numbers all even? Why are they all even? You know what I'm saying? Either these animals have been given a quota by the powers that be. They got a very specific amount of people.
I'm sure there was some rounding there.
But why wouldn't, if that was the case, then why wouldn't you go with a decimal then instead of a?
No, you're gonna round to like the hundreds or the 50s or the thousands.
But you can't do that for real. Like, listen, if we counting down to the 100,
I mean, I'd want to see what the actual numbers are, but I'm betting Lions was like 198 or 202. I'm betting the rest are attributed to those things, but they can't prove it.
that just it makes me very suspicious, right? Because you could have went to the fives, you know what I'm saying? Like,
with approximately, well, and did they say approximately or did they say deaths? I don't know.
No, they just ran down the list, so I'm sure the people that did the podcast shortened it themselves anyway.
Right. Is there any on there that surprised you? I mean, other than the assassin bug, which I didn't know was a fucking thing. Now I'm curious. And I mean, you kind of get that for naming it that. So, or maybe it's the other way around.
The only thing that kind of surprises me about that list is the humans at 2 with 400,000.
I mean, in terms of killing other humans, that surprises you?
No, I just feel like that's kind of low.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know if they're what are they counting?
Do we count wars and shit? Like, how many have died in Ukraine? Across both sides.
And then does it go into the yearly average?
Right.
Because this could be, a high year, a year to boost the average a bit. I don't know, but that number seemed a bit low to me.
Yeah. I'm with you. All right, we're gonna take a look at this. Let's see if this works, or if it fucks everything up.
Take a look at what. Matter of fact, while you do that, give me 2.5.
So this effort right here is the assassin bug, and I don't know. I've never heard of this one. I'm intrigued by it though. The Redudividae are a large cosmopolitan family of the order Hemiptera. Terrestrial ambush predators. So, let's see. Some assassin bugs are harmful to humans due to their tendency to bite and or the potency of their venom. And some carry harmful parasites. So they kill in a lot of the same way mosquitoes do. That makes sense.
What is that? The assassin bug?
That is the assassin bug.
Where's that from?
That is from I don't know. It's the almighty Google.
Well, no, I mean like the origin. What's the origin of the bug? Where is it from?
Let's see. I am not seeing kind of its.
Wouldn't that be like important information?
Right? Although I did realize that this isn't working as well as I was hoping it to. So.
What is that? That screen share?
Yeah, it works on yours, but it's not showing up on the main screen. So we'll exit out here. But I don't know. It's interesting. All right.
You don't know nothing about no assassin bugs.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know.
There's an agenda. These animals got an agenda. That's all I do know.
So you got
What
anything
you
else?
got?
Oh,
Nah, that's all I got on the inadvert.
I am. I've got an inadvert, but I'm almost wondering if I should hold it for when and if we do an episode on the four agreements, because it's really kind of coming out of that book. So I will.
Okay.
I'll tee it up, and we'll probably
I gotta do more research.
press pause on the conversation. But the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. And what it means is that be careful with the words that you use and speak positively, because words are the power that separate us from animals, basically. And there was a fair amount of discussion in the book about the ability to speak, the ability of language shapes the perceptions not only of your world but of the world around you. And so there was a lot of discussion on that, and it got me thinking about, a shift even in my mindset over the last, we'll call it the last 2 years, where I'm not saying I've been impeccable with my word, but what I am saying is I've learned to ignore more and just not give a fuck. And when you get into some of the agreements, it's not that you shouldn't care, but it's that you should recognize that words that are used to hurt are really showing the hurt of the individual using them. And that, in your own perception of reality, if you can view harmful words like that, it elevates you in terms of your happiness. And so the inadvertent thought there was just that, I think there's some truth to it in terms of it's something that I've looked at and thought about a fair amount over the last couple of years, just about when someone says something to me, how much of that really has anything to do with me, especially if it's something about me, and how much of that comes from their own kind of place. And so I know that gets a little deep, and I think that's where I'm like, I'd like to table it until we decide if we're going to do that as an episode or a conversation. But any kind of just initial thoughts hearing that? Any kind of initial, makes sense, doesn't make sense?
I mean, it makes some sense, right? But then it all comes back to the person interpreting as well, because people could be telling you about yourself.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you can't interpret that as negativity, even though you don't like what they say.
I agree with that.
So it's kind of like, I feel like that applies to, it's circumstantial, and most things are, but I do feel like that's a safe law to apply in most cases.
Yeah, and I think reading some of the tee up to getting into the agreements and that kind of thing, getting into the wisdom, is that there is no universal truth in the human world. Meaning that your interpretation, you will never find two people whose interpretation of the world is the same. And therefore we're in two different realities, and they call them dreams. They call it the dream of the planet is, kind of how you interpret everything around you. But at the same time, it's not going to be identical for any two people on Earth, because no two people's experience is the same.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's one of those, I think I said it when Ashley was on the podcast, I like reading stuff like that, but a lot of it feels, to your point, like it's either circumstantial or it's something that it takes. Like there is some universal truth to it, but it's always going to be a matter of perspective and those kind of things. And a lot of those things get sold as self help, and I think when you look at them too, just I think it's. I mean, I think if there's anything that you can take away from it, learn and apply to your life that it has a positive outcome, great, go for it.
No, I agree.
Do I think any of those things have it 100% right? No, because then everybody would read it and everybody would be happy, and we live in a fucking miserable world. I think the other thing that it talks about is that the dream life that we live in is actually just a version of hell, which I thought was interesting in terms, and they go into some more detail about it, and I'll get into that if we do an episode. But I'm like, yeah, I could see it. I mean, because it's depending on kind of how you were raised, what you believe, like hell is just a state of being of individuality versus heaven is a state of being of like universal acceptance and shared love and all of that. And I know,
until the motherfucker die and they be like, oh, they was lying. It gets worse. Yeah, you don't know.
No doubt. All right. Well,
let me preface that by saying I do applaud anybody that tries to help another out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like people come to self-help books and stuff like that vulnerable anyway.
Yeah.
And you gotta really make sure you've done your due diligence and research before just providing information. You know what I mean? Like, no, you don't want somebody to hang on to something that
doesn't have some basis. I think I get what you're meaning, but I think at the same time, like that's actually why when it got brought up, I was interested, and like it kind of piqued my curiosity more than anything, because I mean, I've said it on this show, like I am the happiest I've been in 10 years. So I think I can look at something like that more objectively and be able to say, like, no, I could see some benefit to this. I could see where this could be helpful, or to your point, could be hurtful or harmful, etc. I mean, looking at something like the 4 Agreements versus the 48 Laws of Power, like those are two very different things and two very different interpretations of life.
Right.
So I think both of those could be interesting podcast topics, though, and I think we'll get to them, because I think we could have, one, it's been a little while since we've done a real philosophical show, and two, reading through the 48 Laws of Power and being like, oh yeah, I can think of a time when somebody did this shit or this shit. And I think it'd be entertaining. I think we could find a way to make it entertaining.
No, I agree with that. I would just have to have more time to do research. You know?
Absolutely.
That's all that is. But I don't really have any other inadverts.
Okay.
That come to mind.
All right. Do we want to get into the main topic here?
I would like to. A list? I don't know if I have a list. I got a couple things written down. Explain this to me one more time. We're going through like the
top entertainment of 2022. So I left it a little nebulous. I think that like I will tell you, most of mine are movies, TV, and then I threw a couple video game things in there.
Oh, okay.
And what I would like to do is have both of us go through our list from the 10 spot up, and then at the end of the episode, we kind of figure out how we bring our list together for a fool's top 10. And yes, I stole this concept, but I think you and I would have fun with it.
Okay. Yeah, I interpreted that way different.
Okay. Well, that's what happens when we do it via text and don't have a phone conversation. So I hear you.
Right, right. Okay, so give me something off your list.
All right, so I'll start off with my 10 spot, and I have it split out as a tie, but it's really just one of the two. And that goes to Elden Ring, that Dark Souls like RPG that kind of hit hot in, I don't know, it was probably Q2, like February, March timeframe, and just kind of took over the zeitgeist. The only reason it makes the list is that it was the only video game in my mind even worth talking about this year, because it was the only thing that really dropped that was new, that wasn't like a sports game or a Call of Duty or so. Props for something that was creative. I don't necessarily, I mean, I played probably 30, 40 hours and I just gave up because it was too much for me. But the one that I had in the spot with it was Elex 2 or Elix 2 or Elix 2, ELEX. And that's another like, it actually is an interesting mix between like a Skyrim and a Mass Effect. Like there's a fair amount of blending of like technology and swords and sandals, and it's a cool
Mm-hmm.
concept. It falls apart in the gameplay. But again, it was something that was unique and different, and yes, it's a sequel to a title from, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. But again, like the gaming industry was just so far down this year, and I feel like we haven't had like that big blockbuster hit in a while in terms of games. So that was my number 10 spot.
I don't have a list pre-made, so if I'm just throwing something out there
So what made your
to
list but is like barely made the list would be like if you've got a list of shit but you didn't necessarily put it in order, what would be kind of the,
okay, I see
you
what you're
see what I'm
saying.
saying? Kind of make one up on the fly. Like, hey, this made the list, but it's not high up on the list, but it was X reason.
I guess I'm gonna go with my original thought. I mean, I feel like that that seafood game.
Sifu?
Yeah, I don't know if I thought, have we talked about it? I
I
thought
don't
we
think
talked about it.
so.
We may not have talked about it before, but it's like a karate game, like a
Okay.
karate or not karate. I don't know if it is karate, kung fu, but it's like a walkthrough like game that you play, but it's very original. It's the game, I don't know if you've heard of it, where if when you die, you get older.
Oh, we did talk about that. Yeah, 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 yeah. We did talk about that.
Hmm. Like, and the only reason why I put it on there in that low spot is because I mean it is interesting and it's a game that you can play the same thing over and over again, like trying to beat where you were before.
Okay.
I would put it low there though, like you said, is because it's really repetitive, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was that a PlayStation exclusive?
No, I
I don't
believe it's
remember.
on either.
All right, I don't remember seeing that one. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I believe it's on either.
All right.
But yeah, I would have to go with that one.
Okay. I mean, honestly, that we'll talk about it at the end as we go to combine shit, but that might be the that might be the one if we have a video game on here. All right, my number 9. Talked about it with Les. What, 2 weeks ago? Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So there was a bunch of like superhero content out this year. Honestly, it doesn't even deserve to make the list, but because of the way and what it was in terms of a tribute to Chadwick, I felt like it needed to be on there. And that's not to say that I enjoyed them. It was okay. The movie was fine. Again, I appreciated the emotional beats of it. The plot of like the superhero plot in it was terrible.
Well, yeah, I don't know anything about that one.
Right.
I
But
still haven't seen that,
that one would creep in. And maybe there's some recency bias there in terms of the fact that it just came out. But again, I for as much superhero shit came out, for Wakanda Forever to kind of bubble to the top is not saying a lot, because I was not a big fan of a lot of the shit that came out this year. So again,
that's
just
what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to figure out, and I keep trying to look it up, but I really don't know.
yeah. I mean, there were other superhero things that came out, like She-Hulk came out, Black Adam, Moon Knight. Peacemaker actually probably could have been one that rose to the top with what is it, John Cena
John Cena.
on HBO
Uh-huh.
Max. Like that one could have crept in. But honestly, it was I don't know if it's superhero fatigue or if there just really wasn't anything that all that great that came out this year. So that takes up my my number 9 spot.
I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to figure out of everything I see on this list, have I even seen any recent movies?
Right. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, no. And you are correct. It's a whole lot of superhero shit. I recognize that Hustle. I think that Adam Sandler joint, that Hustle, was good, but I don't know if I would put it.
Well, again, it comes down to like what else is its competition. Like we don't have something else to put on the list. It's not bad to put it on the list because I will tell you, it was on my deeper list, but it did not make the top 10.
Um, the Hustle movie.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I'm still going through it, and I really don't. I really don't know that I've seen too much, if I'm being honest.
All right. I mean, that's fine. You've been on games. Any other games that kind of bubble up? One of your AAA titles, I'm sure, the NBA,
Yeah,
whatever.
of course that the NBA, the 2K. What else did I play? That what's that? Days Gone.
Days Gone.
That Days Gone is all right. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that Days Gone is all right. That's a decent one there.
And was that like survival horror?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep, you had to like scavenge for stuff and get like gears out of the car to fix your bike. When your bike messes up, you have to like fill your tank up. You can run out of gas, and it's a nice game.
That's
It's
Days
definitely a
Gone.
nice game, and you gotta, of course, as you progress through the game, you don't have money, but you have trust. It's like basically how you pay and barter with like goods that you
Okay.
find. And you gotta like fix up your bike and of course buy your guns and all that. But the storyline, everything about that game is pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. I'll have to check that one out. That's another one I'll have to put on the list for the week that I've got off.
That's one you'll get lost in. Well, you can get lost in. Like sit down early and then look up and be like,
Like,
I've been
oh
on this for
shit.
4 hours. I didn't even know.
Well, damn.
Mhm. It's a good one. I'm not gonna lie. That one caught me by surprise.
Okay. All right. So Days Gone at the 9 spot or the 8 spot if we're adding Hustle too.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
I will put that around there.
We'll call Days Gone at the 8 spot because you seem to be more on to that one. My 8 spot goes to Clerks 3. So
That's the sad one.
That's the sad one. The thing is it's still a good movie, and it still has its moments of being funny and all that, but it just ends on a downer. But Kevin James, they have the entire original cast back, and it's cool to see a movie that has had three movies in the series, and they're all like 10 years apart from one another. So just conceptually, I appreciate it for what it is in terms of like, it's almost like the group that came up like 5 years ahead of us, 10 years ahead of us, and kind of what their journey was in that life, etc. And like you can kind of see that through the 3 movies. Like it's starting as kind of a black and white movie in the 90s, and then moving into Clerks 2, which felt a little overproduced, to this one that felt just real. And so I think with all of that, and again, not a ton of competition this year. Like it's interesting. I listened to a couple of like entertainment focused podcasts, and like the shit that people were talking about, I'm like, when they were putting together their top 10 list, like top 10, what was it, Marvel Phase 4, top 10 Star Wars TV shows, I was like, only like 2 of those are good though. Which,
and then it's crazy. I can't even really participate in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because all those are what, Disney Plus?
Well, and I mean too, like if there's anything from, I don't know, Netflix. Well, the thing with Netflix is like it could just as well be older shows too, right? Like I know Blacklist has been around forever, and I know that's kind of on your and Malk's radar right now, but
yeah, that has been out since 2013. Season 9 just dropped. I don't know if I've gotten
there yet.
There.
Well, I mean, it could be new seasons of old shows too.
You said something and I had one, and it just left my mind. Damn, what was that I was about to say? It was a show that came out though this year that caught my attention. I can't think of what it is. Well, that would be higher on the list anyway, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because it was something good, I thought. Where are we at?
We are moving into the 7 slot.
See, and I would be an asshole to ask you. I kind of want number 1 just to know where my shit would fall in between.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing is like let's go through it from the bottom up.
Oh, and then arrange it ourselves.
And then arrange it.
Okay.
And so I'm capturing everything that you're putting down kind of in the order you're putting it down. And then I've got mine listed from 1 to 10, and we'll go backwards and we'll say you had this, I had this, blah blah blah.
What show is that? That's going to drive me crazy.
I can give you my number 7. So my number 7 is Andor. So I did have a Star Wars show make it.
I bet you got more than one on that motherfucker too.
I tried to keep it to 1 from each what I'll call a genre series. So I've got 1 from Star Wars, and then I've got 1 more kind of in that vein toward closer to the top. But Andor is the first Star Wars series that had no Jedi, had no Force, and it was basically like a political thriller, spy thriller. And, talking about both sides, like how bad the Empire was, and honestly that the Rebels did some shady shit too, even to each other. Like there's one scene in Andor where they basically say, we know that they know about one of our allies making an attack run. and we're not going to help him, and we're not going to warn him or anything because he needs to be sacrificed in order to keep other pieces in play. Like, it's some cold-blooded shit. I mean, at the beginning of Rogue One, Cassian Andor pops an informant. An informant tells him something, then kind of has a freak out moment, and he fucking puts a blaster in his belly and choo-choo. So it's the first time like Star Wars gets a little dark. So, and that's going against like Boba Fett and Obi-Wan, and neither one of those shows bubbled up above Andor for me. So props to Disney for doing something a little different on that front.
Those are on Disney Plus too?
Yep. Malcolm chiming in from the chat with young Rock.
I don't watch shit like that.
Malcolm, if you want to get involved in the conversation, hop on.
I'm going with the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, was the Super Bowl?
It wasn't the best.
Good? Was the Super Bowl good this year? That was the Rams, right?
Rams and the Bengals. It wasn't the best, but it was exciting to see a second-year quarterback do what he did.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I think I'm gonna put that around my.
Now you know what I would say, though, right?
What?
It's not the Super Bowl. It's the Chiefs Bills game would be higher than the Super Bowl.
That was a good one. I'm not gonna lie about that. Yeah, let's replace that with that. Yeah, let's replace that. Because you don't get games like that.
No, you do not. I mean, 13 seconds. 13 seconds is all the Bills had to hold out for, and they couldn't do it.
Man, you don't get games like that. How many touchdowns were scored in the last, minute of the game?
It was something like 4 across both of them. It was insane. It was.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on nuts. That. I agree. That them are like once every 5-year kind of games.
Yeah, man. All right, so that takes care of the 7 spot, and I would actually not be upset to see that one move up the list.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Especially when I figure out what else is gonna be on there. 7 of them Jones. That's a stretch. I'm gonna have to start pulling shit out my ass now.
That's why I was telling Malk to jump on. He could give us a couple other ones to talk through. For number 6, for the number 6 spot, I had Cobra Kai, season 5.
You know what? I'm with you with that. I think that should definitely be on the list.
And honestly, when we go back and combine, it may be lower on the list, but I think that's one.
No, I agree with that. That would be on my list too. So how do we do that?
Well, typically, I mean, that just means that it will for sure be on the list. Where it slots in, we'll talk about. But right now, I don't know. We would have to have the argument of, does it go? What I would think is it would go to the highest ranked one. So, but if we're both saying it at 6, then that's kind of a moot point.
Well, let me think. Let me think real quick. I'm gonna go Squid Games.
Squid Game?
Yeah.
I never watched it, so I have no idea what it's about. I know it was hot in terms of it popped in the pop culture, but
yeah, I'm gonna go Squid Games on them. It was something different to watch.
Isn't it like a human, like Hunger Games kind of?
I see. That's the crazy shit. Everybody always compares, but I don't know that I've ever noticed the comparison.
All right.
I've always tried Hunger Games, and don't get me wrong, maybe it's the first one that is slow, like everybody always says. but I can't get into it enough to
get through it.
Yeah.
The first one is the slowest of them. Although the last one kind of gets a little slow too. That was one that it was supposed to be a trilogy and they made it 4, and they probably should have kept it at 3.
Squid Games for you because you're the only person that I'm sure in the fucking
World
world
that
with
didn't
internet
watch
that
it.
doesn't know. It was just like a situation where they invited people down on their luck to play a game. Everybody was worth $1 million, and you would die. The games were to the death, basically.
Okay.
Like, so you had to get through like I think 5 games, and then the end ended up with like just 2 people.
Gotcha.
And the winner got the entire pot. Uh-huh. Yeah, it was good though.
That's dope.
I'll put that around. What was that? 6? Yeah, 6 I think Suits. At least for now.
Yep, number 6. All right, my number 5. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
This was movie. That's a movie.
That's a movie. It's a Nick Cage movie, and it's basically Nick Cage starring as Nick Cage.
Is that the one with not Emilio Estevez?
No, it's not Emilio Estevez. Who else is in that with him? Superfan was actually the one that had recommended it to me.
I remember seeing. Oh, it's the dude from
it's Pedro Pascal. It's the dude from The Mandalorian. That's right.
Right.
It is so like batshit crazy that it's good. You're like, this entire thing makes no sense, but it makes perfect sense. So basically, Pedro Pascal plays some. I think the plot line is that he's a member of the cartel. There's a twist about that later on. But he's just a huge fucking Nick Cage fan. And so he invites Nick Cage to his house to like hang out. And you hear about this stuff in like Middle Eastern countries all the time. Like different czars and whatnot inviting celebrities out just to basically hang out so that they can say they hung out with a celebrity, but they pay these people like millions of dollars and shit.
Right.
And what it becomes is like Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal basically decide to write a movie together. And meanwhile, crazy shit happens to them. And so they, like, pull in pieces into the movie. Like, it is so fucking out there that, again, very unique content. Something that, like, just you and I talk about all the time. This is, like, one of the few pieces of something that was original that I was like, this is
I love shit like
great.
that.
It's fucking great.
Where's that available? Where can I?
I think it
Disney
is
Plus.
No, I think it's Amazon. I think it's Amazon Prime.
Oh, for real?
At least maybe I rented it off of Amazon Prime.
I mean, I'm not against that though.
It's worth it. Like it's at least and the thing is if you're gonna rent, it depends on what the price difference is between rent and buy. If it's rent for $4, rent it and watch it.
Right.
You know, rent versus buy, and there's like a $3 difference. You might as well buy it, but it is well worth the purchase. And again, it is one of the few like real unique things that doesn't tie into some bigger universe. Blah blah blah. That was just a good movie.
Yeah, I like shit like that. We need more of that.
So that was my number 5.
5, Fever. I'm going Mortal Kombat.
Was that this year?
Yeah.
That was April? I thought that was last year.
No, I thought it was earlier than April.
That's why I think it was last year.
Look it up. Can you look it up?
I'm looking it up. Yeah, it was last year. It was Mortal Kombat 21.
Damn, Mortal Kombat.
Sorry.
What was this year? Nothing good this year. These motherfuckers took the year off. Uh-oh. Somebody shooting.
Bro.
Damn.
Well, I mean, was there another like playoff game or another sporting event thing or another boxing match, something that popped on that side? Not that it was as good as the Bills Chiefs game.
Nah, it wasn't nothing, no fights that were that good this year. That I saw at least. I'm sure there were, but nope. I'm at a loss.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I think you would have saw.
In 22, what about that Harder They Fall movie? I think that was 22.
I think you're right. No.
It wasn't.
21. Just barely.
Damn. Damn. They done added another month to 2021. Mm.
I mean, this is where you could put NBA or you could put, one of the games you play most frequently. Malcolm chiming in with the Flash and Euphoria. Euphoria had like
He would chime in with some shit like that.
Euphoria. Oh, they did drop a new season this year. I didn't watch it. I liked the first season, and the interlude season during COVID was okay, but I never jumped back
Those
on
are
it.
like soap opera.
Yeah, teen drama.
Yeah, that's not. I'm good. Yeah, that's not my style. I'm not really watching the Euphoria. And I'm not really.
Were
The
there any?
Flash has been out forever. Did they drop a new season
I'm
this
sure
year?
they did. Was there any comedy specials? Because I feel like I've seen some decent comedy specials, but they're not ones that I necessarily would have expected you to watch.
No, I don't think nothing's really come across my radar as far as that goes this year. Yeah, I know some have come out and I've watched some, but none that would.
Like, I'm a fan of Taylor Tomlinson. Bill Burr had one.
And I think I tried to watch it, but I don't think he got me like that. I'm trying to think if there was one that I'm not thinking of. I do feel like I did watch one that was pretty good. I just can't think of who.
Fair enough. All right. Well, if you think of something else to add to this list, you let me know. I can jump to my number 4.
Star Wars.
Nope.
Dune.
Dune was 2021. Came out in November.
Okay.
I don't think you'll guess this one.
The Witcher.
Also 2021. They haven't dropped a new one yet.
Are you sure?
pretty sure. Although
I think the last one with the girl might
was
have
that
been in
early this
22.
year? Nope.
Nope. Damn, 21 was long as fuck, wasn't it? God damn, that was a long ass year.
Let me double check.
You just throwing out nopes on me.
No, 2021. December of 21.
That's why you gotta do your own research.
Season 3 comes out in 23. No, so my number 4 spot is Minx.
Minx, what the hell is that? What kind of freaky shit you into?
Minx, close. Minx is an HBO show. Might have been a Max original that was basically about standing up the first women's centric porn mag. And so to your point, yes, some freaky shit, but it's a comedy and it's fucking fantastic.
No, nothing different. You said it's on HBO?
It's on HBO, Minx.
I don't know nothing about that. I might have to look at that. Oh, what's that one show that they came out with that was on 8? Was that 2021 too? Goddamn, am I stuck in the past? I can't even remember the name of it.
White Lotus?
Mm-mm. What was the name of that show? About the people that had powers?
Lovecraft Country?
No.
Boys?
Boy, no. It was on HBO.
HBO and Powers, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, Malcolm chimed into the chat, the Mike Epps special. Comedy.
Was that it? Was that the one? Because I do like Mike Epps more. I can't even remember if that was the one I'm thinking of. I do know that there was at least one. But now you taking me back. Yeah, it was the show about a lady who had powers. And she had like a orphanage, not like it wasn't just kids, but it was like adults too, people that had powers, and she would train them to how to control them. What was the name of the show? It was a good show though.
I don't know that one, but
I'm gonna have to look
it
it up.
does. Oh, the Nevers.
Yep. Yep, that was good.
Also 2021.
Was it?
But I think there were episodes in 2022.
Oh
so
yeah,
I'll
there's
count
a
it.
new season. Yeah.
All right. So we'll put the Nevers on there.
Was it a season? I don't think it was a season.
I think it dropped. If you had 2 seasons, then season 1 was in 21, which means season 2 would have probably been this year.
I don't know.
All right, so that gives you you're up to, that was your number 4. My number 3. This is where we will go back to the sci-fi shit. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, the first, and that is against Picard season 2. The first Star Trek show that feels like a Star Trek show on like the new iteration of CBS and everything. Like it feels very much like the original series. It's very episodic in nature versus serial in nature. Like it's a return to form for Star Trek. And close.
And it's on CBS.
It's on CBS or Paramount Plus. And in close debate with that one was Star Trek: The Lower Decks. Lower Decks is like the Star Trek Family Guy, which is fucking fantastic.
It's real or it's a cartoon?
It's a cartoon. It's very Family Guy-esque.
I think I've heard you say that before.
Yeah, it's funny.
Netflix is gonna end up being the streaming historians.
Yeah.
The museum of where streams began.
Where it began and where they couldn't keep up. They're about to become the Blockbuster of streaming.
Man, listen, I'm trying to tell you, and wouldn't it be very ironic?
Superfan chiming in the chat with Don't Worry, Darling, which I would actually agree is a great movie from 2022.
Y'all motherfuckers be laid up watching movies.
That's true.
That's what that is.
Well, you got to have something before you get to the main event.
I'll never finish them.
Well, you know. You go back to them afterwards.
Nope, that was that.
Don't Worry, Darling, though, is a good honorable mention. That's another kind of like, it's weird. It ends up that it's a dystopian kind of future movie, but the movie feels like it takes place in like the 1950s the entire time. So they kind of village you at the end.
Was that? What about that Vikings? The new Vikings.
Oh, the new Vikings.
What?
I think was this year. The Vikings Valhalla.
Yeah, I think. Yep.
See, that's a show I never got into, but I keep thinking I would like it.
Yeah, it's a good one. The whole series is good, but the newest season is a completely different story.
Okay. So it's like a spinoff almost.
Yeah. Like they reference some of the characters from the previous one, but it's a new. I don't even know if it's the same time.
Yeah, it could be like just sequel later on, or even just a different like village or whatever.
Because I think everybody that they speak of from the original season is dead.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But no, that was it. That was something. I'll give him that.
Good deal. Let's see.
Where you got 3?
I'm at my number 2. My number 2 is Top Gun Maverick.
Never saw it.
I don't know if you'd like it or not, but it is.
I'm a Red Wings kind of guy.
I think that
give me history. Give me real history. Don't give me no made up story.
No, I mean I hear you on that, and like curious to see Devotion, for example, but I think with that movie was something that Paramount wanted to move to streaming. Tom Cruise refused, and he was right. And that is probably the highest grossing movie of the year. And it is the rare instance of what I'll call a requel.
What do white folks say? It's a real life slice of Americana.
I mean, you're probably not wrong, but
shit.
It is one of the few times that they brought back like something from the 80s and did a good job with it. And we've talked about that kind of off and on. Like, it's one of those things that Hollywood tries to cash in on nostalgia and fails a lot. This is one where they succeeded.
Man, it's another Rocky movie to me.
So is Creed, and I like the Creed
when they
movies.
When they know we the kings of this shit. Denzel landed a plane upside down in this motherfucker.
Speaking of Rocky and the Creed movie, do you want to see Creed 3? Have you seen the trailers for it?
Yeah, I have, and I can't say that they don't interest me. I was a big fan of the first one. I thought, the
second one I've yet to make it through. I've tried to watch it 3 times and I've fallen asleep every time.
It's awful. It's awful. I'm not even gonna lie, it's awful. The second one is awful. So I mean,
They got to
at this
redeem
point,
it.
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna keep giving them chances. I mean, I'll probably slide by it eventually,
Right,
but
but you're
it's
not.
not like on my list. Like I gotta see it. Like I thought the second one would have been.
I got you.
Second one was a waste of storyline,
It was.
and then they didn't even do it right in the first place. It was just awful.
Yeah.
What did we do out of 5 mugs? That was a 1.8.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you there.
It's the
Like I
awful
said,
movie.
I've tried to watch it 3 times and I've fallen asleep every time. And for me to fall asleep during a boxing movie, like that doesn't seem
It's
right.
awful. It's awful. One of the worst ones ever made. One of the worst boxing movies ever
It's right up there with
made.
Rocky Five.
Man.
All right.
Rocky 5 was better. That was when he fought Antonio Tarver, wasn't it?
I think you're right.
The young boy, the young.
Yeah.
Well, it was supposed to be young in the movie. Uh-huh.
All right. Do you have a top one?
Number 1 of 20. It's probably from 2021. So
I was
number
wondering if you've
1
been
of
holding on to
2020.
anything.
Nothing stands out. Give me yours.
Number one's got to be House of the Dragon. The
House of the Dragon.
Game of Thrones spinoff.
See, I haven't seen it.
It was the only piece of like must-watch content this year.
Oh,
Like
really?
literally everything else that came out, like I took my time watching. House of the Dragon, I watched week to week, every week.
No, yes, I didn't. I never watched it.
And I would actually. It was interesting the way they did it because there's a fair amount of like time jumps in it. And it ends right before like the major conflict that they set up for the entire season. But
so are they gonna do another season?
they are doing another season. And the thing is with this show, I think it's almost anthology, meaning they could do like 2 or 3 seasons with one generation and then do another 2 or 3 seasons with a different generation of the Targaryens. Plus, you've got like the Jon Snow spinoff coming. You've got other things coming, but this one, the character development, what was different about it from Game of Thrones was that because there weren't like 32 storylines to follow the entire time, like they actually did pretty big character development on each and every character in the show. And so you see their growth and like how they kind of became who they are, how they came to their role, etc. And the time jumps actually helped that in a lot of ways.
This is on HBO Max.
That is another HBO Max show.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I interpreted the list very different.
What were you thinking?
I thought you meant like the most entertaining moments of the year. I only had 4.
Anything there that would cross over? Like a moment from like a show or a movie or something?
No.
Okay.
No, I had that Will Smith, Chris Rock slap.
I mean, we could put the Oscars on there.
Nah, not the whole Oscars. You giving them too much. Just that moment. Amber Heard shitting in Johnny Depp's bed. I put that in there.
I actually think that so I'm gonna put the slap. I actually think adding the Johnny Depp Amber Heard saga is okay. Like that was.
Well, I didn't follow the whole thing. I'm sure there were more gems in it. But yeah, the shitting in the bed, that's classic. That's classic. I put the Elon Musk challenging Putin to a duel. I put that on there Cause that's how, isn't it just crazy how the world we live in makes people think that because they have a bunch of money, they're just protected. Like, what would even give you the audacity to think? Listen, if they put that shit on, first of all, don't sanction it till after the first of the year, so I can put my money down. But I bet Putin would be a negative 5,000. You hear what I'm saying? You had to put $5,000 on Putin just to win 100. I'm telling you right now. Now, Elon, on the other hand, the odds might make you want to bet on him.
I mean, he's got enough money. He can hire the best in terms of trainers and shit. But Putin has experience.
You hear what I'm saying? In multiple disciplines. Man, I'm telling you right now that Putin might be the most gangster of the world leaders that's ever been around.
I mean, you're hard pressed. I mean, unless you went way further back, I would agree.
Yeah, like back to the primal days.
Right.
That's the only thing that I respect about Putin, is that Putin is an all around
just G.
You know what I'm saying? Like, physically, I will fuck you up. You hear what I'm saying?
So there is a term for white folks with money thinking that they can do whatever they want. And it was a term that someone introduced to me this year, the caucasity.
The caucasity.
The caucasity.
I don't know, because I feel like you could be poor and white and still have
some caucasity.
Caucasians. All right.
That's fair.
All right.
The so Karens of the world.
Listen, you don't gotta have money to be Caucasians. Now, that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, and then I put and I said I seen it coming too. The Brittany Grinder Victor Bout thing. I said that was genius. Remember when we first talked about that, when that first went on, I said that is they are genius for that. Because I guarantee you, now that we have all the facts and we know how this shit played out, I guarantee you. Another point on Putin's book, and I'm not like no Putin supporter, but I'm saying you got to give him another point for this, because I guarantee you she had came through that airport with that same shit before. Every season that she goes to play basketball over there, I bet she had the same bag packed. And they just waited until the right time. They was like, you about to start this war. You about to take somebody important to them. This is the most important we can get. Them out. You hear what I'm saying? We taking her. And we need our guy.
I can get behind that.
Man.
All right.
That was a genius move.
So, if we were to go back through, and I'm going to add all the things you just said, because I think they are entertainment. They are entertaining.
Right.
So, I think that's I'm game. Fair game. Throw them in there. All right. So, the two that I think we both most agreed on would be the Bills-Chiefs game and Cobra Kai. So, do those rise to 1 and 2?
No.
Okay.
I'll give you the Bills-Chiefs game because we did agree on that. And like I said, even for people that can't appreciate sports, that was something that, like I said, you're not going to see that for at least another 5 years. Mm-hmm. And if you do, it's going to be like theatrical, like made to where shit like that can happen.
Yep.
Like more penalties are added in 5 years to make it easy to score like that in a minute.
Right.
But even still, I don't think you'll ever see something like, I don't think anything's ever happened like that in football.
No, you're hard pressed unless you're going like Cal Stanford and the band on the field. Like,
I think that would be, I think I can agree on number closest. 1.
All right, so Bills Chiefs is the number one.
I'll give you that, even though you only like that because your team's involved.
But they lost.
But which gives me a little bit,
a little bit of
smile,
solace,
right? I'm
Fuck
a
you.
little okay with that now. But Cobra Kai, I cannot. What was
Not
that?
you can't put them in the number 2 spot.
Yeah, I can't truthfully do it.
All right.
And don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me
No,
wrong
I actually agree with your take there. The only reason I said it was because we both kind of strongly agreed on that one.
Yeah, no, I can't give him 3 or give him 2.
I don't know that I can put him in the top 5.
Yeah, I feel like if they broke the top 5, it would be 5.
Yeah. I am going to make the case that House of the Dragon probably rises to the number 2 spot.
I wouldn't listen. I haven't
because
even
you haven't seen it,
but I wouldn't be quick to argue you there.
All right.
Didn't they bring back what's the name too for artistic expression? The dude that wrote the books.
Oh yeah, no, George R.R. Martin. I think he was consultant on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the fact that he wasn't consulting on the final season, but they brought him back for this one, I can only imagine it to be great. I'm not gonna lie about that. So I can see you putting it at the 2 or the 3. I thought you were going to say 3, but I wouldn't be mad at the 2. Now that kind of makes me want to watch it.
All right. So Bills Chiefs, House of the Dragon will rises to the number 3 spot. You want me to go through our individual top 10s real quick?
Yeah, please.
All right, so my top 10 from the bottom up: Elden Ring, Wakanda Forever, Clerks 3, Andor, Cobra Kai Season 5, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Minx, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and Top Gun Maverick, followed by House of the Dragon in the number 1 spot.
You're a fucking nerd, dude.
I am.
Yeah.
For you, what I have going from 10 up: Sifu, Hustle, Days Gone, Bills Chiefs playoff game, which we've already covered, Squid Game. I put the Mike Epps special there, The Nevers, Vikings Valhalla, The Slap, Johnny Depp Amber Heard, Elon Musk challenging Putin, and Brittany Griner.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like we are a bit, especially myself, because I didn't follow as closely as I could have.
Yeah.
But I do feel like we are a bit unappreciative of that Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, because it did give us a direct window into their changing room of their life. And I think that it's a lot more lives like that. You feel what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Nicolas Cage and Emilio Estevez Jr. weren't shooting a biography and it wasn't a movie. Like, I'm sure that the lives of these people are utterly insane. And the fact that we got to hear half of that in that trial, I just don't know what to say. I think that should go up there.
All right.
I think
that takes the 3 spot then. We can take the 3 spot with it.
I'll give it a 4.
You give it the 4?
Yeah, I don't know what to give the 3, but I'll give that a 4.
All right. So I am willing to, because I think it would better represent both of us.
Mm-hmm.
I am willing to move The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, that Nick Cage movie, up to like the 4 spot, because I think it better represents shit that you and I both.
Is it that good though?
It is, dude.
I gotta see that, man. And I know exactly what you're talking. I remember the previews when it first came out, and I did think that that would be one that I would want to see. I remember he was trying to help him over that brick wall or something, and he fell on dude. Yeah, I remember.
And then they realized they could walk around it is the funny thing in the movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
So do we agree
I
that
wouldn't
moves
be,
into the
yeah, I
three
wouldn't be
spot?
surprised. Again, I wouldn't be surprised. I
Uh,
like Nicolas Cage,
well, and it's Nick Cage
but
allowed to just be Nick Cage.
and that's
Like,
what I'm saying. I was just about to say the worst Nick Cage movies are the ones where he's trying to be serious.
yeah. All right. So, Bills Chiefs, House of the Dragon, A Bearable Weight of Massive Talent, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. We're to number 5.
And I know a lot of people, especially black people, are like, "How could you put Amber Heard over Will Smith in the?"
The slap.
Because that was just, it was so quick.
It was like
You know
a
what I mean?
half second, and we spent fucking the next 6 months talking about it.
Right. And even though it was that quick, I guarantee you it's a 60-40 split. I'm not going to say which way on people that thought it was fake.
Right.
I thought it was fake when I first watched it.
I mean, I
Like,
get
even
it.
after the reaction, after all that, the wows and the him getting his shit together, I was still like, pretty sure they playing that.
So does the slap become number 5?
I'm with that. I
All
can do
right.
that.
Number 6, I think we drop in Cobra Kai.
I'm with you on that. I 100 fools agree on that.
All right. Now we're battling out for the last 4 spots 7, 8, 9, 10.
The only thing I will say, when did Cobra Kai come out?
September.
Like the first one.
Oh, the first one like 3 years ago.
Okay.
No, it was way before that because it was on YouTube Premium or YouTube Red or some shit for the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think you are right
So I
about
think it
that.
came out in like 2017, 2018.
Yeah, I think you are right about that. Okay, so yeah, I'm good there. I was about to say the only thing that would make me even consider bumping them up to 5 is the fact that they pushed as much content as they
Content as they
did
have
out
that shortly, yeah.
in that short time frame. But I'm
But the
still
the
feeling
first
like
the first at least the first season, if not the first 2, were YouTube Premium.
I do remember that. Yeah, I'm comfortable with them staying at 6.
All right. Anything that you're gonna fight to put in the number 7 spot? I'm sorry, I have
No.
Strange New Worlds has to make the list. I don't necessarily care where it goes, but it has to make the list.
What is that again?
That's the Star Trek, like the new Star Trek show on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
And I would fight for that over either the Marvel show or the Star Wars show.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, I have to take your word for this because I don't know any of them, and I don't even think what were my bottom 3: the seafood game, the one game.
So the things from your list that haven't made it yet: Brittany Griner, Elon Musk, Vikings Valhalla, The Nevers, Mike Epps, Squid Games, Days Gone, Hustle, and Sifu.
I feel like Squid Game's got to go on there. It
Okay.
has to go somewhere on there. I don't think that the Brittany Griner situation is worth being on there. I don't think that.
I think from a zeitgeist perspective, I'm willing to put Squid Game over Star Trek. So that would put.
I think you should anyway. It's better.
No.
And I haven't even seen it. It's better.
I would put Squid Game over Star Trek New World, so that gives us 7, 8. What fills the last 2 spots? 9 and 10.
Tom Brady and Jizzy from the block.
Tom and Giselle. That wasn't even on the list.
With Antonio Brown mixed in the flavor. Nah,
I will push for one from my list that again I think
okay.
is a good representation of our tastes together.
Right.
Clerks 3.
Okay. I'm not against that. I enjoyed the first two.
And I will put that over Strange New Worlds just because again I think it's better representation of like our combined taste.
Right. Yeah, I enjoyed Clerks 1 and 2.
It's Star Trek can be number 10.
I'm not with a downer though. I'm not with like a warhead, right?
Yeah.
Like don't give me something sour and then
don't be a Sour Patch Kid.
Right, and then like I busted open and it is just hella sweet inside. Like I was expecting what I was expecting.
All right, so
bad analogy.
That leaves us the number 9 spot open because I put Star Trek: Strange New Worlds at the number 10 spot.
Wait, what's open?
So the number 9 spot is open.
Well, it sounds like the last options are going to be video games.
Could be video games and because you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick, that would be one that I would consider in that spot.
I can see. I would. It's a slice of Americana. I feel like you got to Red Tails. It is.
All right, so Top Gun Maverick in the 9 spot.
But isn't that crazy? Like I don't mean to take it there. But isn't that fucking crazy that we come out with all these true stories about amazing black pilots? And motherfuckers are
That's not out yet, though. In fairness, it's not out yet, though.
And in fairness, it took them fucking 30 years too late to make a Red Tails.
You're not wrong. All right, you want to give
motherfuckers stole rock and roll and aviation. I'm just playing. But you never know because Egypt was on to something. I don't know what the fuck they had going on, but I'm pretty sure they can aviate. That's what I will say.
There you go. All right.
Now where we at?
That is our 10. You want to give a drum roll and I'll run through it.
Wait, what was the 10th?
10th is the Strange New Worlds. I had to have it on the list. It was at the bottom though.
Oh, okay. Your drum roll.
Yeah, what you got?
Oh, you can hear that?
No.
I couldn't do a lot on my shoulder.
Damn it, and I don't have that one in terms of sound effects. That's what one.
Got everything else.
So, for the Fool's Top 10 2022 in entertainment, number 10, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Number 9, Top Gun Maverick. Number 8, Clerks 3. Number 7, Squid Game. Number 6, Cobra Kai Season 5. Number 5, The Slap Heard Round the World. Number 4, Amber Heard shitting in Johnny Depp's bed. Number 3, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, featuring the one and only Nicolas Cage.
Not to be confused with number 4.
Number 2, House of the Dragon. And the number 1 moment in 2022 entertainment goes to the Bills losing to the Chiefs after being up with 13 seconds left on the clock.
Great game.
Wah, wah, wah.
He had to do it after his keypad didn't work.
Well, I was looking for it and I can't. Oh, there it is. Oh, and that will will do it for tonight. Cliff, you got anything
I
to
know
take us
you
out?
like Chris Rock knows the back of Will's head.
When at the front, did he backhand him? Did he backhand
Yeah,
slap
it was
him?
backwards.
He went, could you? I
Well, I
challenge
don't
you
know
to a duel.
because he did kind of end weird. Like it was we analyzed it. It was a weird like. That's how Will Smith. He didn't know how to man. That's why he got.
He
one
played
more fight and
Ali.
his mom
He
got
knows how to.
scared. You hear what I'm saying?
He played Ali. He knows how to throw a punch if he wanted
Man, that nigga moved to Bel Air with his auntie and uncle.
In
They
West
got a place.
Philadelphia, born and raised.
The fuck?
Actually, that will be an honorable mention.
What?
The Fresh Prince show, Bel Air, on Peacock.
That's interesting. I never watched it, but that's interesting.
I did have a couple of other honorable mentions that didn't make my list. Sonic 2 with Knuckles. Tales of the Jedi, Star Wars animated. And Dahmer were also on my honorable mention list.
Yeah, no.
But I think our list is pretty solid. I'm a fan. Fools agree.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I can only agree 50%, but because I haven't seen the other 50%. I'll catch up with the list.
Well, go. If nothing else, put Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent on in the background while you're playing the game next time. You got anything to take us out?
No, I got nothing. Love everybody.
Do us a favor, like,
it's getting
share.
harder and harder to by the episode, but
it is.
we have an obligation.
Do us a favor, like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell them to troll. Peace out, folks.